Sweet Craig, we've lost you to Australia, brother, but it's all good. It's all good to be talking to you again. It's such a pleasure. We've lost both of you guys, actually.
Yes, no, but
This
can
is
you
not
hear
a
his Aussie twang already? Like it's only been
Yeah,
there a
yeah.
year, but
He's already started
This
with
is
his good day, mate.
yeah, mate, you hear mate a lot these days, but yes,
You know, the type of people I've always hung out with, it's never been about the money. It was that's just a negative behavior. And if you're lying and deceiving people, it's a reflection on you, I believe. You know, it's got nothing to do with other people. So it manifested itself into deceptive behavior as well as this alcoholic behavior as well, if we can call it that. Yeah. So that was tough. That was tough for everyone around me. My mother in particular, who never wavered. Who's, I would say, my mother and my cousin. I have a female cousin. Are the two people I can genuinely say never wavered, even in these times when they knew things weren't ideal. South Africans. What I love about being South African, I was thinking of moving overseas as well at some stage. But you know, I thought I have this privilege of being articulate and being able to talk to both sides. I speak Xhosa and Sepedi as well. And, you know, sometimes the optics are right with me in the room. It just has to be that way sometimes. So I have this privilege of I can perhaps, even if it's 100 people, I can link people together because either side can see me as somebody who they can relate to. Because you want to talk about the rugby, let's do it on the one side. You want to talk about what it was like in the past. My father was arrested and beaten by police. So I can tell you about that. I can tell you about either side. I can tell you about how my white friends are scared and feeling ostracized, whether rightly or wrongly. I can tell you about that. If you want to talk about it, to me, you got to be articulate. I don't believe in extremism, and I don't believe that helps anybody. So in that 3 months, I'll tell you, I did the least exercise I've ever done because it was so torturous. But number one, and my mother, I'll have to send when I send this episode to my mother, she'll never believe it. But I got deeply into books again. So I'd always been flirting with books, but then at that time, then my love for philosophy went back again because that's where I've always looked. So let me make it very clear. I'm not a religious person. My spiritual sanctity is philosophy. So I delved deep into that. And then one thing I said, you know, and I've always believed, if you're smart enough to get yourself into a mess, you're smart enough to get yourself out. That's how I treat myself in the morning. So for me, that's how I have to micromanage myself. If I set an alarm, I don't care how tired I am, I don't stop it. And I don't tell anybody this, but it's for me. This is just one of my micromanaging tools that I use. Because for me, it's once again, I've lied to myself for the very first time that day. And then I'm going back to the guy I'm telling myself I don't want to be. You know, my mom's always told me, and I hold to this, racism is stupidity. If you want to talk about just the word, and it's actually we've created that. It's not real. My pigment is just an evolutionary thing because there was more sun than your ancestors that went up north. That's all it is. But okay, we live in the situation we live in, and to be highlighted constantly, not sometimes, constantly, is the killings, and I don't care if you're white or black or Indian, of the sons and daughters of this country. That's horrendous. You know, I'm super hopeful, and you know, as difficult as this world is, I love life. I love life, and I believe, you know, that this complexity is something that our great grandchildren don't have to suffer. But the future is not a place we're going; it's a place we're creating. So we must stay very, very aware of that, and we can choose where that sort of road leads.